The manner in which we treat those whose backs this economy was built on needs some serious intervention and personal introspection from each and every one of us. While some of you may be lamenting the ingenious manner in which government exploits the country's resources, our most important resource, our people, continue to get the short end of the stick. How politicians sleep at night knowing that about 4,000 fishermen downed tools in 2015 asking for better wages and humane working conditions remain unemployed still today. These grandfathers, fathers, brothers, husbands and uncles have met here every single day since 2015 to protest against their bosses, mostly government officials and their affiliates who benefit from the quotas they share amongst themselves. Snore nicely, some on $100,000 beds, whilst these men have lost everything except their will to fight for what is rightfully theirs.
Ireni tureni, Ireni tureni, Ireni tureni, Futari mamuke. Ireni tureni, Ireni tureni, Ireni tureni, Futari mamuke.
This former fisherman, a man who's been denied his dignity purely for standing up for what is his due since 2015, now lives like this. Maria Shihama saw the crew arriving and asked us to film her. Here's what she had to get off her chest.
My name is Maria Shihama. Ik is hier zo geboren in de Wabespe. Maar, no. Ik zeg, ik slaap bij die kombon. Hierdie kant. Oké. Maar, de allemaal. Ons krijgt zwaar. Maar ik verkoop net hier zo. Tombo. In katokere. Aneke die kapana als ik krijg is die fris. Oké. Maar allemaal. Ons krijgt zwaar. Dat is niet plek niet. Is een kolonna. Bij die Wabesmes. Maar is niet. Dat is niet plek niet. Ja, container. Ik was bij die container en ik was bij die familie. Ik vraag toen die me gejaagd bij mij. Toen kom breven die gaan bij die kansel, toen gaan bij die compound. Mijn kenners. We hebben net container bouw in die huizen laten allemaal van die huizen kleven van die jullie wapens. Ons krijgt zwaar zo wat. Kijk net die mensen wat kunnen celebreren net die zo samen bij ons. Er zijn nog kromkenners hier zo. Aan de kant is nog wel kromkenners. Van niks met skatbal. Niks met skatbal. Zoals ons praat niet zo met camera. Dat is fokol. Meer is niet niks. Ik is strakker in die kapana. Laat hij die kan kost. Want gaan die brood krijgen. Die mensen die tijd van die Zuid-Afrika hebben ze huizen gekregen. Het was met die Tunakor gewerkt, die tijd. Toen hij maakt en die, wat is dat, put together. 2001. Toen hij ontgepraat. Toen mijn huizen, toen hij moest gegeven aan de mensen. Toen ontgeretreed. Toen ga vrouw mijn huizen. Tot nu toe.
Tate Otto Utoni is a spokesperson for the fishermen that have been seeking justice and fair labor conditions since 2015.
I started working at sea early in the late 90s, and I've been working as a marine engineer. You see, you know, at sea, there's a lot of challenges, and in terms of now working hours, we've been working around the clock. Some of us working around the clock for many hours, and now coming to in the 2013 there, we start asking ourselves, why can we be treated this way? How should we allow ourselves to be exploited like this? Can't we please call our managers, our companies, to at least negotiate with them for them to give us a normal working hours as per Rape Act, and that's how we end up here. Later on, when they refuse to adhere to our call, we have now decided to take this action. Now this is since 2015, and we always at the beginning we came here, and we always we used to take petitions to the ministers, to the Minister of Labor. We give him a lot of petitions, and to the companies as well. And as now this time of Corona, we decided to come only every day, only for 2 hours as per curfew.
Julius Hamonyela is one of the formerly 4,000 strong fishermen who decided that he deserved better working conditions, and he too remains unemployed to this day.
The company owners cannot act a lot because most of the companies are owned by ministers, by government ministers. They are big shareholders. So, and they too come in mess because every time we spoke to the government, they are just promising to come. From 2015, the government is coming in 2 weeks. Today we are in 2021, and the government is coming in 2 weeks, and we are still waiting for them. There was a former minister who is now in custody because of fish rot, and the minister of justice is also in custody because of this. So it means we have been just throwing the information into an end block. Because if you tell somebody and he is the one who is stealing the information, so you won't have a solution to that. It makes us feel very bad because it's the government, it will represent people, to take people from troubles or whatsoever, and it's the government who is again killing the people. So this meaning a very bad picture to the people.
The plight of our fishermen in this land, in which laws were changed to ensure that a greedy few could score big on the country's natural resources, should give us all sleepless nights. The fishermen also shared their views on how they experienced the news on how the former ministers of Justice and Fisheries find themselves in prison today.
I may say that this is very unacceptable, and it is this fish lot saga have got killing the many lives of Namibians and even Africa and the world. As you know, many would say court in Namibia, and justice is just a name on the wall.
So you don't believe
it doesn't practice fair here in Namibia. Otherwise they could hear to our plea long ago.
I'm very upset with the government because even the president, because he is the head of the state, He is supposed to control and check every minister on how is that minister is working on his office. And every minister, I think a lot of them are having fish quotas and they are having companies here. And the president is also aware. And he is supposed to make the clear note that the ministers are out of fishing industries or other industries.
I cannot imagine life as a slave at sea, hauling fish, battling the elements. That is not the life for me. The fishermen of Walfish Bay, who have been lamenting their working conditions and decided to strike in 2015, find themselves unemployed and unheard. I asked some of them to describe the conditions under which they worked.
To work in a boat is very dangerous. It's very dangerous because anytime you are just expecting the vessel to sink. And I think it was last year we have a sinking boat here. And there is a life lost there. And so the person needs to be paid.
There are many foreign hands dipping their nets into Namibian waters. And I asked Tate Utoni to share his views on that.
It is not good, but at first we believe it was good for the brain drain because we need to get experience from them. But now, when time goes and people have been pick up the experience, I think it's not fair.
Isn't it crazy how a government that conned the people into supporting it by making promises of a brighter and better future for all is now being exposed for the lies they spun for votes? I mean, the housing problem in this country is shameful, but for those who contribute the most to the country's GDP to have to resort to living like this, nah man. Emmanuel Shimi was on the verge of being evicted from the property he has been living on since he first arrived in Walfish Bay to work in the fishing industry. He too is amongst the striking fishermen.
Yeah, I have a 57 old. I have a wife, I have a child, I have a house, no. Then here, I'm coming here 2004. Before I was sleeping inside in the mill. Now after the strike, 2015, I make this ghetto. And then, now I'm very suffering about this strike because I didn't get nothing. My wife and then my child there suffering also. Same story. They eating day, night, maybe didn't eat. Me also, here, I take 3 days or 2 days. Didn't make food here. Then when I'm first so alone in location, my friend when I say hi, we are eating. Come together to eating. I start to eat because I know there's nothing. The problem for strike. No big problem now is here because my brother told me, you give me only until Friday. Tomorrow is Friday. It's my last day. Maybe sleeping. I don't know. I don't know. I say, I finish. My day is finished. If I get something to pay, I'm sleeping. If I didn't get who give me something, I don't do the combo. So struggling to sleeping there. I don't know wash, shower, don't know like where I'll get it.
Walfish Bay's backyard shacks have been estimated to be an almost $1 billion industry annually, and the loss of income for many that lost their jobs due to COVID or are just victims of this capitalist system has truly been felt.
The building is part of municipality's renting, and now they want us to repay it. apparently we must repay it. I don't know now where. What is 1,600 for? We are paying for rent. And now they want us to renew the thing.
Former Walfish Bay councillor who won and ran as an independent candidate till last year, Knowledge Ipinge, contextualized the situation at the town historically.
Yeah, I think in terms of Walfish Bay, you should understand actually Walfish Bay from a historical background, starting actually back in the apartheid years, from the level whereby Walfish Bay was actually an industrial town, whereby people just come to Walfish Bay to work through the contract labor system, with also the first workers' strike happening in Walfish Bay, with the establishment of even the ruling party. It was actually established within Walfish Bay. All your unions and so on were actually established within Walfish Bay due to the workers actually being based here, and it was more motivated with the contract labor system. So one need to understand that Walfish Bay always actually had the upper hand, or actually was the leading town in terms of Namibian politics as far back as the 50s. So that is where we're coming from as a town. So with that, anything happening in Walfish Bay definitely have an effect to the rest of the country, and also being also the home of the second largest contributor to the GDP, which is the fishing sector. You have actually over 10,000 employees within the fishing industry itself. At the same time also we are a port city, so all imports, so we are the gateway actually to SADC. So with that, Walfish Bay is actually playing a major role in terms of Namibian politics. So what is currently happening, we have seen definitely the changes within our local authority, of which this is actually the first time that Walfish Bay is actually having majority councillors from the opposition. Opposition in terms to say we have currently the PDM, we have LPM, we have as well as IPC, who have formed a coalition together with the Residents Association. So with that, we have seen a young mayor also taking the seat. We have two regional councillors who are all from the opposition as well. So with that, it is actually a new face for Walfish Bay.
Down, fisherman, down! Down! Down, fisherman, down! Down! Down former sea workers, viva!